way to start. I thought I'll pop out this morning, put the brake assembly onto here, put it in the wheel, put the wheel on. The two rods that fit on here were basically out of alignment, so you've got to have them exactly at the same plane. So when you pull this lever, that one goes and that one goes that way at the same equal distance across here, so it applies this brake and this brake with the same force. And it wasn't set right, I could see that, so I started undoing this to move these apart to allow adjustment, and yep, you've got it, it's snapped off inside there. Now the likelihood of me getting a replacement bit for this is probably, yeah, there's probably one out there for about 300 quid, known as stupid prices, or I've now got to somehow get that out of there. But looking in there, if you look at the depth of that versus that, I can't have that much thread left in there. What I'm wondering now is if I could get a little drill in there and get a really small easy out in there and get that moving. And then what I've got to do is get the other side out, then see if I could get some threaded rod. That's all I need. Put a couple of nuts on it and make this bit in the middle. But Jesus Christ, to get this front wheel on is an absolute nightmare. Now, I have got somewhere some easy outs, but I don't know if I've got one that small. So I'm going to go and have a look. But oh, it's just one thing after another. But I suppose, again, looking on the positive side, if this was that knackered that it was about to break, and that's the crucial control of your braking, I mean, you still would be onto this arm, so if you pulled the cable it'd do one break. But I suppose it's better I found it now, but oh God, could really do without that. So what we need to do now is go and find an easy out and see if there's any damn way I can drill into there and get that out. I'm not sure there is. I can't damage the threads inside there because it's crucial. But my saving grace is, as I've already shown you, when you look at how far in that is, I reckon there's not that much thread left in there. But Jesus. Right, one step forward, two steps back. Let's find the easy out. Well, I found my easy outs, and the little tiny one that I want, the M3 to M6 one, is not in the box. So I don't know where that is. So I've had to order another set, which isn't going to be here now. It's now Friday morning, Monday, Tuesday at the earliest. So I'm not standing still. What I'm going to do is I'm going to somehow get this back end up in the air. Maybe if I have to put a couple of axle stands under it, lift that up, and that back wheel's coming out. I'm going to make a start on the back end while I'm waiting for the other bits, because I can't lose a weekend. So as you're aware, this snapped off in here. Now I managed to drill that out, but I've still got a bit stuck down in there and I can't get that out. And then this one here, I managed to drill that out and that's got bits stuck in it. And I couldn't get that out. And then this is the rod that broke. I managed to find one of these little fittings, just this end bit, on eBay, right hand thread fit, £13, so I purchased it and it's on its way here. This, the left hand thread one, is discontinued. You've got more chance of finding rocking horse poo than trying to get hold of one of these. And this bit is also out of stock everywhere and not available there, so that was me stuffed. So I ended up buying one of these for 13 quid, which isn't here yet. Now, I looked at this, I thought to myself, the two arms are okay, all I need is this swivel connection and a bit of threaded rod in the middle with a left hand and right hand thread on it. So I went trawling on the internet, and lo and behold, I've managed to find some parts. I've got myself a threaded rod with left hand thread, right hand thread. I've managed to get myself two of these connections roughly the same size. One left-hand thread, one, oh that's the left-hand thread one, that's the right-hand thread one. So what I was wondering is if I disconnected this pin out of here, and there's a little split pin in the back here, and I'll pull this out. Oh, it's bent over. What I'm wondering is, would I be able then just to fit my other parts? And lo and behold, I've remade the rod. There, look, that's just snapped off, so that was rotten. So that wanted replacing, otherwise you're liable just to have your split pin fall out. Oh, I can't get this one out now. Why's that not coming out of there? Or is it that end I've got to pull? Right, let me just try and get this split pin out, hang on. Right, so I've managed to get one off. Let's do a test fit. So that can push out of there. Oh, it's a bit oily, hang on. I don't want to open this up too much because then I'm starting to put a bit of strain on the weld here. So I think what I'm going to do, it's a bit hard to see really, but this part sticks out either side a little way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in, this part here sticks out the side a bit. I'm going to put that in the vise somehow, and I'm just going to rub my little grinder over the end of here to take a smidgen off that side and a smidgen off of this side. Then it should fit perfectly in there. I've only got to take the slightest bit off. Literally just put that on a flat surface, just a bit with the grinder, and that way a bit with the grinder, it should be done, and that looks like it's going to work. And then if I take the threaded rod that I've got here, that's the left hand thread, that'll go straight in there. Then we can work out the distance between the two and we're good. They do different lengths in here. You know, if I've brought a too long a one, I'll buy another one. And this is marine grade stainless steel, so that's actually probably stronger than what we had there. Yeah, so I think we're nearly there. So what I will do, pieces for the time being in this bag, so we've got them all together, and then I'll have to work on getting that other pin out. Then we'll clean all the parts up, and then once I've ground those, we can check fit and get building this bit of kit. I'll probably have to cut a bit of thread, probably that much thread off. I brought it out longer because I just want to make sure it fitted. We'll have to put the things on and work it out where it's going to roughly be. And then once we've got this on here, we can do it up with the nut, and then what I'll do, I'll get another nut and ram it up against it and tighten it, so you've got two nuts, one holding it, and then in theory it can't move. It's as good as done. Yeah, that's going to work, I think. Right, let's put all that in there. and we'll go and get the grinder. I've just had to drill the split pin out of this one to open the hole up, and I need a 1.5mm drill, so it's increased from 1mm to 1.5. So as the other one was already out, I've gone back and done the same on there. So we've got a lovely couple of clear holes that you can see through now. So I'll order some 1.5mm split pins, and then we can put this thing together, and hopefully we can finally get the front. Oh, we're almost there. Just wants a tad more off the front. It's not far off going on. The only problem I've just noticed is it doesn't actually fit in the hole. It's catching on the bottom bit. That's no good. Damn. These are actually too big. Hot. Right, we're done. It's obvious now when you look at it. Look at the size of the head on that versus the head on that. So it's the dimension across here which is the problem, which you've then got to try and fit in there. You've only got a certain gap. That's really annoying. Right, so roll on a couple of hours. I've managed to get this side in. This is all nicely fitted, clevis pins all in. Just need to put the circlip in there. This side I'm having an absolute pig on, because when this goes on here, when you try and put the thing in there, the hole doesn't line up. Let me show you. Right, so roll on about 2 hours, and I've managed to grind some bits off of this to get this to fit in here. Got the bit there. I've marked up the rod as it's going to be fitted, and from this side of the tape down to the bottom of the tape is 13mm of thread. That's how much I'm having going in that side. I've done the same again for this side here on the left hand thread, and that's the middle. So I'm going to go now and cut at the bottom of this piece of tape here. I'm going to cut the rod off, and I'm going to cut the rod off here, and then screw it in, and we should have what we need. God, what an afternoon. But we're getting there. I thought this had beaten me, but it hadn't. So I've trimmed the rod. My hacksaw wouldn't cut through, so I angle ground it off with a cutting disc. I just left a couple of big burrs on the end, so I'm going to have to get a hacksaw and trim it as close to that as possible as I can. There's no way I can get a nut on there now, so yeah, I think it's a good point to stop today, but at least we managed to get the fittings on here ready to get this connected, get it sort of lined up. That'll be the key thing. Then we got that on there, plus we got quite a bit thicker bar than we did have, so that gives it a bit more strength going across, plus it's all new, so you know it's good. I've got the circlips come to push through these holes here. I'll put the circlips at the back, so I'll need to knock this one out, turn that round the other way so the circlip can be out of sight. We'll get that on, but right, I think it's time for some food and a nice cup of tea. I'll be back soon.